Hello, Chester Trucker here. Today we're going to talk about bridge law, trailer weight, drive weight, steering weight, your truck weight, and how to balance your load. Well, we got your trailer. Trailer has a tandem right here. When you're looking at your bridge law, you're looking at the center of the rear axle here. In some states like California, it can't go more than 40 feet. In some states, it can't go more than 41, like Indiana. So, I've actually conveniently marked my trailer. From the kingpin to this point, it's 40 feet. From the kingpin to here, it's 41 feet. Depending on what states I'm going through, I'll need to balance my load for bridge weight. Because you can be underweight and be legal, and I can have 36,000 pounds on my rear wheel, and then I move it, and because of bridge law now it weighs at 34, but it's way back here at like the 44, 45 feet mark instead of the 42. Well, that'd be okay in places like Texas, they don't really care, or Montana. But California, I would be in compliance with bridge law and I'd get fined at the port of entry, the weight station, or Indiana at the 41 foot mark. And we have our drives. This is our drives, and that's our steer in the front because the steering column. And we know on the front of the trailer, we got the headboard, and under here, this entire metal plate is called the apron, and that's your kingpin. And your kingpin, as I showed you earlier, connects to that fifth wheel. And that fifth wheel can also be adjusted going forward or backwards. When you slide your tandems, your trailer has holes on it. So if you look right here, where this bar is, these tandems, they can only slide forward so much. So this bar here keeps the tandem from sliding all the way forward off the rail. If you slam hard enough, you can damage this and actually drive your trailer off your tandems. You can just slide the thing completely off, and same thing if you go too far back and you keep slamming it repeatedly. Over time, I've seen it once, you can actually pull your trailer off your tandems, which sucks, especially if you hit something. So for me, this is considered hole number 1 on my trailer because it can't go any more forward. So I am on hole 1. Even though there's 2 holes, these are dead holes to me really, because I can't slide forward anymore because this is in the way to stop it. Alright, but from here, for this hole, that's hole number 1. Trailers have a distance between hole and hole. The distance on my hole is 4 inches, but some of them are actually 6 inches. And with this hole, the hole here, this distance of 4 inches, every hole adjusts my weight either forward or backwards, about 340 pounds. If this was 6-inch holes, it would adjust the weight 500 pounds for every hole. So, let's go see how this really pays importance, especially when you got a reefer. That reefer, this is a 50-gallon tank, which is awesome. A reefer trailer is different than a dry van. The walls are thicker, and I have a 4,000-pound refrigeration unit on the front. So all that's going to increase my weight compared to a dry van. Dry van doesn't have the reefer unit on front. The walls are thinner. Because the walls are thinner, the trailer's lighter, you can hold more weight. Me, my walls are insulated. The inside dimensions a little tighter. But dry freight can only pull dry freight. Whereas refrigerating unit, I can pull refrigeration and dry freight that requires no refrigeration. This gives me more options. Even though, oh, I don't like the reefer because the unit's so loud and this, yeah, whatever. Alright. So, here we go. I've already weighed myself before, empty. I got 10,906 pounds on the steers. I got 15,820 on my drives, and my trailer is 8,620 pounds, giving me a total gross vehicle weight of 35,400. Now, this little picture of my trailer here, we've got a diesel fuel tank here, and the diesel fuel tank here. Okay, that fuel tank holds 100 gallons, and I got 2 of them, one on each side of my truck. So that is 800 pounds per tank times 2 tanks. I have 1,600 pounds. So my steers, including my fuel, because I'm filled up on everything, my trailer's fuel is maxed out, my DEF is maxed out, I have 1,960. Between the drives and the steers, I've added 1,600 pounds. So if I'm weight critical because I got stupid for whatever reason, I can drive with less fuel. It means I burn diesel, because diesel is about 8 pounds to a gallon. So I've got 200 pounds back here, 50 gallons times 8. 50 times 8? No, that's 400. Yeah. I have 400 pounds on my trailer. That 400 pounds is split between the tandems and the drive, so it's adding extra weight. And then up here, the 1,600 is between my steering and my drives. So if you want to drive with less fuel and refill more often, you can actually carry heavier loads. But don't get complacent at the pump and decide to fill up all the way, and now you're 400, 500, 600 pounds over, because that's a lot of diesel to burn, and that's a lot of extra driving you're gonna have to do, hoping you don't get caught at a weight station because of balancing and bridge law. So the maximum gross vehicle weight you can have is 8,000 pounds. 12,000 on the steering, 3,400 on your drives, and 3,400 on your, one moment. Let's fix this. 34,000, 325. This is 34,000. This is 35. All right, so maximum weight on your steers is 12,000, 34,000 on your drive, and 34,000 on your trailer wheels. Your tandems slide back and forth so you meet bridge law, because if your tandems and wheels drives are all the way forward, that's going to have a different weight, even though your total gross weight won't change, but how much weight is on each wheel will change, because you've got to have no more than 34,000 on each wheel. Okay, which also comes with the Kavits. Our truck is 73 feet long with the tractor and the trailer. If your truck is shorter, you still have 80,000 pounds to play with, especially if you're going through port of entries. This is our 5th wheel. Our 5th wheel moves. Every hole you move that 5th wheel, it'll throw 500 pounds on either your trailer or your drives. Your tandems or your drives is where that weight's going to go. So, technically I'm like 10,160 on my steers. So that gives me 2,000 pounds. I can move my 5th wheel all the way forward if I need to shift 2,000 pounds from back here to the front, and I'd still be okay. I don't like to run my things close. I like to keep things balanced. Bridge law, you also want to balance your weight on your tandems and your drives, because if your trailer is too heavy and you're going down a hill, your trailer's going to start pushing you instead of the drives pulling the trailer. When going downhill, you want to be straight. When you brake, you want to brake when your tractor and trailer are straight. It means you got to slow down before you go downhill, because you're going to pick up speed because, again, your weight. If you're on a curve and you start to brake because your tractor and trailer aren't aligned and your trailer's really heavy, or you're on ice, snow, or water, it's wet, your trailer's going to want to keep going forward because of traction, and your tractor's going to try and go in another direction because of the steer, cause you to jackknife and fly off the road. So before you get into a turn, especially going downhill, respect those speed limits. Use your Jake brake. Don't use your service brakes unless you absolutely have to. If you do, you're stab braking it. Don't ride your service brakes. Let the Jake brake hold you. If your Jake brake's not holding you, that's because you're going too fast for your weight. You really got to slow down. Jake brake 1, 2, or 3. If you and Jake brake 3 and you keep speeding up, you got to slow way down even more so that Jake brake 3 will hold you. Because if that's holding you, then you're not using your service brakes. You're not going to have brake fade. Now you don't have to worry about tire fires and all kinds of other crazy stuff. So, we talked again about your holes. The distance from the holes, if they're 4 inches or 6 inches. 4 inches moves about 320, 340 pounds. That really actually depends on the brand. And then you have 6 inches holes will move your weight 500 pounds. Now we got an exercise here. because I scaled myself. I know how much I really weigh. We're going to pretend. I just got loaded. I went to the scales, and this is what it came out. My trailer has holes every 4 inches. Pounds, I want my driving trailer equal. And we're going to see what this thing says.
Whether you're planning a city...
No, we're not doing that. I'm on the free program. I'm cheap. Alright, warning. Cannot get all axles within allowable limit. However, if you pull your Ford to hole 7, means plus 6 holes, means down there if I count out 6 holes and I move my trailer 2 feet, it's going to try and balance out my load between 3,400 on my steers and 33,000. 3,400 on my drives and 3,300. 30. I can't speak today. 34,000 on my drives, 33,900 on my trailers, but that's going to balance my weight out close enough. That 33 pounds above, as I go into a port, no one's going to care about it. And if you really do care about that, just move your fifth wheel and throw weight onto your fifth wheel. So by moving my holes 6 feet, I'm going to balance my load out more. Because Montana, Dallas, Texas, they're probably not going to care that I'm 35,500 on my tandem because they don't have a bridge law kingpin. Bridge law has to do with how far the kingpin is and your trailer weight is. So I can roll through 35,500 in Texas, Montana, no problem. But in Indiana, if I'm at 41 feet, I know I'm 35,500, I get pulled in a port call because I don't comply with Indiana bridge law. They can give me a ticket. Even though I'm under the gross vehicle weight, they can still give me a ticket. In California, it'll be even worse. So, and you typically want to set your trailer for whatever state you're going through. Like if you're traveling through Indiana, but if you're going from like Florida to Texas, I wouldn't worry about that. None of them have a bridge law until you get to Mississippi, I think. Anyways, yeah, that's what the bridge law is. So how much weight you put on the bridge at any one time is balanced. So, because my problem was back here, my tandems are all the way forward, the app said, the SlideCalc app, I needed to move my tandems back 6 holes. My problem is my trailer, my tandem weight. So I slid towards the problem. If your trailer wheels are in the middle and you're heavy on your drives, it's going to tell you to move your tandems to the problem, to your drives. And again, if you really have trouble balancing, you can always put stuff on your fifth wheel, and then you can also play with your diesel. Because if I decide to run my reefer at only half tank, which I won't because it's a reefer, I'll always keep that full, I could be saving 400 pounds, 200 pounds, but no, I'm not going to risk losing my load because that reefer will run for 64 hours before it turns off. From a full tank, that reefer will run continuously 64 hours, then it'll shut off. Then that's a headache. But here, with my full tank, I have 1,600 miles, 1,600 miles range with my, with my full tank. So if I only wanted to run 800 miles at a time and keep my tank half full, I'm going to save 800 pounds of weight, which will allow me to carry more weight, more load in the back of my trailer. Well, maximum I can drive, in this case, my vehicle is 68 governed, so 68 is 680 plus another 68. I'm like 750 miles. 750 miles is the maximum I could drive in any one day if I was in a perfect world. There is no way I'm going to be able to drive 800 miles in a day. So I could keep this at half tank and fill it up half tank every time. Then I could carry even more weight, more heavier loads. I hope this has helped you. Y'all be awesome.